Hey guys, I'm Elise, aka Cool Kid Elise. I thought I'd do the Panic at the Disco challenge that was on like Tumblr from like last March. Um, Thought it'd be kind of fun, and plus I saw somebody else do it, like do a video. Uh, so here we go. The first question is, when did you first hear Panic at the Disco? I first heard Panic at the Disco when I was in the 7th grade. I was 12, and I used to sit next to this girl who liked really cool music in study hall, and she was like, "Oh, have you ever heard of Panic at the Disco?" And I was like, "Oh, no." I mean, the name, it was just like, Panic at the Disco? I don't know, it sounds kind of weird. But I went on to tell my friend, my best friend at the time, about them, and we went home, and we downloaded all their music, looked up pictures of the band, and we like instantly fell in love. The next question is, what was the first song you heard? Probably I Write Sins Not Tragedies. That's just like a wild guess. I mean, that's usually everybody's first song they heard. Well, if they were fans during the Fever era. But, yeah, most likely. And that was like a single around the time. Like it was on the radio and stuff. So yeah, it's probably that. Favorite album. I don't want to say Fever, but that's like, just like paved the way for all that great music. And everybody says Fever though. So maybe like Pretty Odd. I don't know. It changes like all the time. I just can't ever pick one. Favorite song. Well, my favorite song when I first got into them, like the first one I remember it being, was There's a Good Reason These Tables Are Numbered, Honey, You Just Haven't Thought of It Yet. But later on it was like Camisado. But when I ended up finding out like the real meaning, like how it was about Ryan's dad and stuff, that's when I really started to like it. But yeah, that's probably my favorite out of all their songs. Favorite song from A Fever You Can't Sweat Out. Camisado. Favorite song from Pretty Odd. Probably Behind the Sea. Like when I first heard that Ryan sang that song by himself, I was like, oh, even if it's like the worst, like most ridiculous song ever, I would love it already, because not many people heard Ryan sing. Well, obviously he sang up backup vocals during Fever, but yeah, and then I obviously heard it, and it was just a beautiful song, so, but, yeah, it paved the way for my love of George Ryan Ross's voice. How do you feel about Brendan and Spencer being the only original members left in the band? When I first heard about it, like, I got, the tweet sent to my phone, and I was in the car with my dad, and I just started crying. I was bawling, and I was, like, so upset, but I mean, it still kind of upsets me now, because I just loved the group dynamic with Brendan, Ryan, Spencer, and John. Like, they just seemed like such good friends, and they just were just so creative and adorable and all that stuff. But, and then, I don't know, and then there was no more Ryden, there's no more John Sir, so that was a little bit upsetting too. But yeah, I mean, we got two good replacements for Ryan and John, Dallin and Ian. Do you like the Young Vanes? No, I'm just kidding. I totally love the Young Vanes. I have a Young Vane shirt, and I recently picked up a physical copy, like, CD, of, Take a Vacation. And, I don't know, when I first listened to it, I really liked, when I first heard Change back on, like, MySpace, I was like, oh, this is cute, this is different, and, yeah, I like them. I just wish they didn't go on a hiatus or broke up or whatever they're doing. I just wish Ryan would go and make music or do something. I mean, John's like out there, new songs, home recordings, he's like making other stuff. He's like in Costa Rica, he's all over the place. And Brendan and freaking Spencer, they put out an album. Ryan, why can't you do anything? Are you excited about Vices and Virtues? Well, this is really old, obviously, like I said in the beginning. But yes, I was very excited. That was like one of the reasons I made my Tumblr, was so I can let all my panic feels out, even though I didn't do it on DeviantArt or Twitter, but I kind of wanted to like bring it away, because I was in other fandoms on DeviantArt at the time. So yeah, I was very excited. How do you feel about the Ballad of Mona Lisa? Well, when it first came out and I first heard the like the leak one, like the one that has like the like the weird like scream in it, or like somebody talking. I don't know really how to explain it. Only some people will know what I'm talking about. But I listened to that like 40 times in like one sitting. I'm like not even joking. I was so obsessed with that song. And then like later on, one of my like guy friends, he's like, "Oh, did you see the video for Bella and Lisa?" I was like, "There's a video already?" I didn't even know, and then I just watched it, and I was like, "Oh, that's Dallin." And I just still didn't really like him at the time. I know, I feel really bad. Favorite music video? Maybe like New Perspective, even though I just don't like. I mean, the reason I even saw Jennifer's Body was because of that song. I don't even like Megan Fox, but the fact that they have like that whole video is like based around it, and then Megan Fox's scary ass at the end of it. But yeah, maybe that video because they just look so. Spencer and Brendan look so adorable in it. But it's just, and that song's really great as it is. That's my ringtone. Favorite music video from A Fever You Can't Sweat Out. I don't want to say I Write Songs Not Tragedies, even though it was voted the best video of all time. Maybe like Bill God Then We'll Talk, because my friend and I, we used to like, when we were like freshmen in high school, when I got her into Panic, we used to watch that video all the time, and we just used to laugh at how insane Porno Mime was. Favorite music video from Pretty Odd? Northern Downpour. Hands down. I don't want to go off and be like, oh, 9 in the afternoon, because that's like, everybody's going to say that. I mean, I love it. I've seen it a million times. My dad's obsessed with the video. But, yeah, probably Northern Downpour. His favorite band picture. Just Brendan and Spencer. This one. Favorite picture when Brent was still in the band. Brent. He just, like, looks so awkward in all the pictures anyway. Probably, I would say this one. Favorite band picture after John joined the band. Every picture? Can I just say every picture? No, I don't know. John was one of my favorites anyway. I don't know, maybe this picture? Favorite picture of Brendan. How do I choose? No, but for real. Maybe this one? Favorite picture of Spencer. As long as he's smiling, I'm good. I mean, he's flawless as it is, but maybe this one? Favorite lyric. I got it. Hurricane, like in the beginning, was like, hey stranger, I want you to catch me like a cold. That's like my favorite. I love it. If you were to ever get a Panic Underscore related tattoo, what would you get? This. Oh, whoops. Just kidding. That's been so overdone. Every Panic fan and their moms has that tattoo. If I were ever to get a tattoo, it would probably Panic at the Disco related. I would hope so, because they've been my favorite band for the past 7 years. So, I mean, why not express my love on my skin? Favorite Panic fanfiction. Ryan is a Boy's Name by, I think it's Immortalic. I feel so bad for butchering their name, but on DeviantArt that's their name. I'm not sure what their name is on Meba, just like where Ryan is a girl. Just so perfect in every single way, shape, and form. And I'm pretty sure I read it all in one day, and I just couldn't tear myself away. It was pretty great. Aren't you glad I didn't say Throne, though? Okay. Have you seen them live? If so, when and where? I saw them on the Honda Civic Tour back in 2008, obviously, in Connecticut. And that was just incredible. Like, when they talk about how great the Honda Civic Tour was, it really was. Though I wish there wasn't so many bad outcomes from it. But, yeah, and then I saw them again on May 25th at the Webster Theater in Connecticut. And then for a third time, I saw them in Providence, Rhode Island on October 29th, 2011. And that's like with a big blizzard, like the big storm in like New England. Or like, it was like all the trees came down, all that crazy stuff. And I was like in Rhode Island. And like the Halloween was like canceled. Like all that, I don't know if anybody even heard about that stuff. Probably not, but yeah, I'm so glad I actually got to go. And then like on the way home was like this nuts snowstorm, and we like didn't even know where we were. But all three of those concerts were incredible. I couldn't have asked for a better one. Have you ever met them? If so, where, when, and at a picture? I have not met them, unfortunately. I would love to, even though I'd be so starstruck. It would be ridiculous. Just thinking about it is embarrassing. If I had to take a picture, I'd be like, Why do you like Panic at the Disco? Here's a better question. Why not? No. I like Panic at the Disco for a lot of reasons. Their music's incredible. They're not bad to look at. What else? I don't know. They everything they do makes me happy. And they're just a great band. Remember when they decided to drop the exclamation point after Panic? How'd you feel about that? Well, I'd like to say I wasn't like so like, oh, like really butthurt about it, but I mean it's just an exclamation point. Yeah, I wasn't too upset about that. I mean, there's bigger things to be upset about in that fandom. Favorite Brendan Urie quotes. This one is actually from the Vices and Virtues box set, and it was he said it in like the DVD that came with it. I think it was like Get Me Out of My Mind. I think that's what it was called. But if you have like the box set, he says it like at the beginning. Favorite Spencer Smith quote. I could add it right here. Do you follow them on Twitter? I made my Twitter because so I could stalk Ryan Ross. It was even before Brendan even made it. It was like I think it was like 3 days before he made his or something crazy like that. But I made it solely for the purpose of stalking George Ryan Ross. You follow all of them. John, Spencer, Brendan, Ryan, Dallin, Ian. I used to even follow Zach where he made his account like private. Most played Panic song in your iTunes. Most played song is Ready to Go because my sister was like obsessed with it. Maybe because it's like one of the most normal sounding songs they have, and maybe because it's like in commercials. But I always just, for like 2 straight months or something crazy like that, I played Vices and Virtues on repeat, like through my bedroom, and her room's next door, and she would just be like, come in my room and start singing Sarah Smiles. I mean, that wasn't like the only one I listened to, but I just used to play it constantly. A letter to the band. I'm not gonna actually write one out because it's worse for me reading because I just sound like complete weirdo because I just can't even like read without stuttering over my words, as bad as that sounds. But it would probably be like what most people would say. Thank you for making incredible music. You've changed my life, which really they have. That I'll always support them no matter what they do. If they do like some weird like country rap thing, I mean, we've heard Brendan rap, but if they do some, or yeah, we've even heard him do screamo. If they do like some crazy like thing that's like completely out there, I would still be fans of them because that's how much I love those boys and I love their music. I mean, it's like that's how I feel about that band. They're an incredible band, incredible people. I hope I get to meet them. Stay cool. That's the end. There's no more questions. So, I hope I didn't totally bore you to tears to the point where you want to jump off a cliff, but yeah. If you didn't think I was totally socially awkward, you should watch me on DeviantArt if you have an account. And you should follow me on Twitter, but I'm kind of weird with my tweets, like what I say. Or if you have a Tumblr, follow me. I'll definitely follow back. So, thanks for watching. Smell like a slut.